Hey Sagittarius, so what's going on today? I'm going to do a love reading for you. It's going to be for August, September 2019, of course. Yeah, let's just get to it. Let's just start with what's going on for Sagittarius for October. Did I say August, September? I meant September, October. So, scratch that. September, October. What is going on for Sagittarius in the love department? Is that what we're interested in? That's what most people are interested in. So let's go with that. Saggies. September, October for love. All right. Okay. So I see opportunity for an ending, which is kind of strange because it's like not really an opportunity you would think, but happening very quickly. It could be with a Scorpio or an air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And if not, then just somebody who's pretty, they have a lot of mental energy. Like they're smart and they are, you know, they're diligent in what they do, but they're very mental energy. Okay, so what do we have here? Yeah, so opportunity here. But it looks like you're pretty hurt by the situation, like, but I think it's best to end it, is what I'm seeing here with the Three of Swords. Like, that's just not something that's really making you feel good anymore. Alright, so let's see. Sagittarius, September, October. What is going on for them in the love department? What's going on for Sagittarius? Whoa. Okay, ready for this? This guy was on the bottom. I have to acknowledge him because, well, it's you. Sorry if you can hear my dog next to me. It's kind of like gross. He's like licking himself. But there's a decision to be made basically here. Now this could be air sign energy as well, but I feel like this is you having to make a decision, but you don't really feel like you have the authority to make that decision. Like, you don't really feel like your decision means shit. You feel like you don't really have much control. See that she's blindfolded? But you do have the control as a thing. She has two swords in her hand, so she can really do damage. And when she does make that decision, things are going to change. So just know that this is your personal power. Considering, you know, involving love, something having to do with love is what I'm seeing because of the Ace of Cups. It could be new love, but I'm thinking, I'm seeing this all together as like you're gonna have a new opportunity for somebody new to come in. And in order for that to happen, it has to kind of break off with the person that you're with now, or the person that you were with in the past, or the person, you know, that you're not, you know, that Three of Swords energy you're having with. So yeah, then you come out with this, defending yourself against the devil or Capricorn. But I see this as a toxic situation, and you are trying to find your peace of mind, but also you are defending yourself against this person. Now that could be because you really are guilty and you're just not willing to admit that, so you're like being very defensive and like not very open and agreeable, compromising, cooperative, or you know, in other words, you're not really allowing the situation to get any better because you're not really willing to see what you've done wrong. But on the other side of that, if you have done nothing wrong, well, it takes two. But I mean, if this relationship is kind of going to shit because of the other person is what you feel, then you know, you're defending yourself against them because maybe they're dangerous. I don't know. Either way, it's a toxic situation. So I feel like you're just trying to find your peace of mind. That's been hard for you to do around this person, and the Three of Swords is a result. So what else do we have here? I think a lot of you already know this, kind of, you know? It's funny because she knows, you know, she always knows. So I feel like some of you know this, you know, is kind of going to shit, and you're kind of trying to get away from it, but you're not really sure how to do that. And it just seems all crazy and confusing, and maybe you feel like you're trapped. Let's see if the Ace of Swords comes out. I mean, the Eight of Swords. Okay, some of you could be married. So some of you could be headed towards, you could be married to or headed towards a Taurus, Cancer, or Gemini is what I'm getting here. And if not, then that means some of you are married. And it's coming out that you need to take movement, you need to take action toward, you know, either a more loving stance. You need to, I wish the Four of Pentacles was here, because then I could say you need to secure what you've built together. In other words, make it right, and, you know, get back to basis to where you guys were in the first place, which is, you know, it can be hard, it can be not that hard, it just takes effort, and I feel like some of you are just not really willing to put in that effort right now, but some of you are. For those of you who are, you'll probably have better outcomes, and for those of you who aren't, maybe it's time to let go and you'll find a better outcome there. So it's really up to you. I mean, everybody's situation is going to be different. This is a general reading, so a general love reading, so you know, whatever applies to you, go ahead and go for it. Just know that, you know, to me what I'm seeing is that you're not happy in the situation. I don't know if you're wanting to fix it or not. Some of you are, some of you are not, you know, and that's going to be up to you on what you want to do with that. But I feel like it's kind of been a long time coming for those of you who aren't trying to fix it anymore, and for those of you who are, it's kind of like this has happened before, and maybe you know, it's like you know how to fix it, but at the same time you're still confused. But really I think it's just that you don't see it clearly. Like if you could see it clearly, you would see that this has happened before, and there's one real easy solution. Whatever happened in the past, you know, whatever solution you had in the past. It's just right now it seems confusing because you're in the midst of all of it. And those of you who are done with it and you're really ready to move on, that's why you can see it clearly and you're not trying to do this anymore. So I feel like it's kind of just like this back and forth kind of, you know, hot and cold, off and on kind of roller coaster that just keeps, it's like it keeps happening again and again and again. This is nothing new, this is nothing different. It's just, you know, your perception. Some of you, your perception's changed a bit, and some of you, you're just caught up in the midst of it again, and you don't really see that it's something that's happened a million times. So, okay, this is a trip because I used a different deck this time, and I just want to show you, I've been doing this a lot. Okay, it's a little bit different, but let's see if we get this. Okay, it's a little bit different, but so whereas before we had this opportunity here, very quickly coming around for some change or some ending, you know, with an air sign or someone who's more mental energy and possibly younger than you, obviously, with the page there, and then, you know, leading to heartbreak, and so you guys are kind of deciding to take this opportunity to end things or make changes, right? Now here, we have there's hope in the situation, or an Aquarius, but then we have this opportunity to release the air sign, or the person who's got that mental energy and who's younger than you, and end things or make changes. So again, you know, there is hope in this situation. I feel like you know already what you kind of need to do. Some of you, for this, it's going to be release, and for some of you it's going to mean surrender. Some of you, you are just done with this, and for some of you you're like, okay, I'm going to give up because, you know, I'm fighting this and I really don't want to fight, you know. And whoever this is, it's the stance you're taking, I feel like. So being the nice guy, like not trying to be all crazy and like fiery, you know, you're trying to just be understanding, but you're also, you know, for some of you you're taking a stance, and for some of you you're you know, thinking about what you really want now, and that is not really to do this anymore. So some of you, it's like you're done completely and you have no question about that. For some of you, you're willing to do this again. You're willing to try this again. Some of you are married, so obviously, you know, it's a big deal, and it's not just something that you can say goodbye to. I mean, it's a long time, but so for some of you, it, you know, half and half. It's like, yeah, I really don't feel who the majority is in the situation. I think it's half and half, and you guys are really, you know, roughly whatever, but you guys are like, half of you were like, yeah, I'm gonna try to make it work again, and half of you were like, I'm gonna just move on to something else because you already have somebody else possibly. Okay. Careful of sharp tongues, careful of sharp words. Okay, so yeah, you guys kind of argue a little bit, but it's kind of like it was meant to be with the karma card here. It's like what goes around comes around. It's like this is just justice. It's like fair, you know, justice is served, fairness. This is kind of balance now. Like this is what was supposed to happen kind of thing. You know, something in the situation brings you some kind of prosperity, but you're not giving or taking any offers. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to accept or be able to live with that prosperity, or you know, if you're going to be able to have it, because some of you are really being stubborn right now and not trying to make anything work. Even if it seems like that's the better thing, it's like you're not trying to even do that. I said careful of sharp tongues because you guys could be kind of fighting a lot, and you know, something comes out here into the sunlight, you know, whereas it was in the dark before and now it's coming out into the sunlight, and then, you know, you're taking this break here, you're taking a rest, you're just kind of over it, and you're really just trying to do what's best for you. So you guys are like, half of you were like, I'm gonna do this roller coaster again, and half of you were like, nope. Yes, whatever chance you do take, whatever path you go on, Tower moment's coming, you guys. So here's the deal. Whatever decision you do decide to make, it brings you to a feeling of, you know, being like the Fool, in that you will feel more free, you will feel more adventurous again, like not held down by anything, and you're just going to feel a weight lifted. You're going to be excited for life again and out doing new things and having a great time. Now, you felt neglected in the past, but now you're taking action and authority over your own life. That's amazing. That's great. Again, with this newfound freedom, that's kind of what comes along with it, is you just kind of taking authority. But this is what's going to need to happen first. It could be Cancer energy, but for most of you, I'm feeling like it really just means movement forward. Like after this tower, it kind of gives you, it catapults you into a feeling of, well, the Fool. Like I can do anything I need to do, I can accomplish things, and I can have a good time, and I can have fun, and I can be on the track to where I'm supposed to be. So it's like no more limitations or holding you back from anything that you really want to do. So that's great. So if this is like the least resistance, like go with it. I mean, if it feels like you're resisting, you know, whichever way you're feeling the least resistance and it's just kind of flowing, nothing's holding you back, there aren't obstacle after obstacles, and that's probably the way to go. So like what I'm saying is it will kind of be obvious, like intuitively for you. So if you're having a lot of issues in which way you're choosing, it's probably not the best to go. Then again, you know, you'll live, so whatever we're doing, and we're good, we'll live through it. Alright. Some of you were sneaking around, some of you were married, or you're sneaking around with the Taurus, or a Taurus is sneaking around on you, or it's somebody you just really put your trust in, and they're just really being sneaky. Some of you could be with the Libra, but whatever it is, if it's not Libra or Taurus, it could just mean, you know, you're sneaking around on somebody that you really trusted, or vice versa. But either way, it's like you looked up to the person and now you're kind of feeling more in control. So I feel like it is you kind of sneaking around on them. And if not, I feel like because they're sneaking around on you and you found out about it, you feel like you have more authority and you can like kind of say and you know, make rules and call shots. And almost because like they owe you in a way. And so you're not giving or taking any offers, whichever way it is, you're the sneaky one or they are. You're not giving or taking any offers, and this probably goes for both of you. In the end, it's balanced out, so it's kind of like this has happened in the past. Maybe one of you has done this to the other in the past, and now you're feeling like it's kind of even. Okay, I have to acknowledge that because I saw it at the bottom, so just putting it out there. Okay, so yeah, some of you really just love this person a lot, and it doesn't even matter like what you're going through, you're gonna get back with them. Like again and again and again and again and again. Probably because you just have that for them. Like I said, some of you were married, so I mean it's like a very strong connection, and at one point it was very Two of Cups, right? It was very healthy and very equal and very respectful. So I think you guys are going back there and trying to relive that again, and even if it's not possible for you, you're just trying to, that's where your mind's at. So it's advised to do some introspective work, of course, it's always advised, but we do have the Hermit here, so some of you could be dealing with the Virgo, but either way, I feel like, you know, you're feeling free, but you also are missing this person. It's just kind of a lingering feeling, so you're going to get back with them, and you're going to do a lot of thinking about it, or I hope that you will do that. And it's like you're going to have to make a choice. You feel better with them, but you're going to have to make a choice. Now, what is this choice about? Let's see. What is this choice having to do with for Sagittarius, September, October 2019? Yeah, it's like you want happiness, you want to carry all the weight, you want to be self-sufficient, but feel like it's not enough, you're going to be cut off, fucked over. Okay, some of you have not been taking authority of your life for a long time, and some of you have been. Now here's the thing. If you're having to make this decision, 2 swords again, so you're feeling, right, like you don't really have much power in the situation, but really you do. You have all the power. So, either that or you're with an air sign and they have all the power. But basically, I'm just, yeah, so I'm seeing that some of you are with an air sign. I have a lot of swords here. That's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So if not, then it's just somebody, like I said, who's very mental energy, very, you know, head over heart kind of thing, and analytical and more of like communicative rather than like touchy-feely, lovey, and not really a crier either, so that's kind of good for you, you know, because you're not either. But you know, I just don't know how, you know, open you guys are emotionally, which can cause issues because you're not really sure who the person is, even if you think you are sure who they are. It's kind of like you may know their patterns and their actions and what they're likely to do, but you're not really sure why. You might think you know why because you know what they're going to do, but really when you think about it, you don't really know how they feel, and that's a big part of getting to know somebody. So, but for both of you, it's just not really something that's been a priority. So, I feel like you guys both kind of think you know each other, and maybe that's just not really the case, and that's why there's some issues. One of you is carrying all the weight, and that's causing a lot of issues in itself. It's like you feel self-sufficient, you want to feel self-sufficient. You know, there is money, there are opportunities, but there's also betrayal here. There's an immaturity as well with the whole communication thing, and one of you is just kind of like, I'm gonna do me, and the other one is just kind of like sitting there like feeling betrayed. So that's not equal or balanced, is it? I feel like it's been this way for a while. Communication isn't great. By the end of the month, where is this headed for Sag? Yeah, you guys are gonna reminisce. Like I said, you know, you're really not trying to break up with this person, I don't think. You may have broken up in the beginning of the month and then you get back together, or there's just some kind of like disagreement to where you guys are like sleeping in different rooms, or like just not talking for a couple days, or like, you know, some really heavy hit, but you do get back together. But it's just that one of you or both of you, most likely both of you, have other options with other people, with other ways to go about a situation. You know, you guys have a lot of options in general, so don't feel like you don't. And if that's something that stresses you out because you don't really know which way to go because you have so many options, then just know that, you know, intuitively that's what you should be listening to. And if your emotions are cut off right now, that's going to be difficult, but I feel like you guys are kind of emotionally cut off in a lot of ways because this is a hard thing. So when you're going through a hard thing and you don't really want to face it, it's kind of like even more difficult because you're not sure really what you want to do even. You know, what's best for you. You're thinking about, you know, things that you think matter to you, like the stability of the relationship. But if it's not stable and you're just trying to secure it, then really you're not doing it for your own heart's reasons, and that could cause, you know, problems down the line. You could be wasting a lot of time. But some of you, it's going to be intuitively where you feel like you need to be, so that's where you need to be then. But you just need to do basically what you want to do. It's your life. If you're not happy, then it's kind of just a waste of time for you and everyone around you. You're not going to be happy, and what's the point? It's really not something you guys are about. So, yeah, you're a lot of undecided energy here, but a lot of reminiscing and a lot of, you know, it's like kind of mixed, you know. It's like you want to release the person, but you don't. You want a new beginning, but you want to, you know, have the security that you've had and built. Many options, I think you know that. Many opportunities coming your way as well. The question is, will you take the opportunities? I don't really see many of you taking the opportunities that you can be taking, you know, as far as that goes. it's kind of like a stalemate right now. It's kind of just like going back and forth, going again in a circle. And so I feel like a lot of repetitive things are happening. Like this year in general, things have just kind of been stagnant, nothing really exciting or new. Trail a little bit, but no real progression, you know what I mean? Like no real advancement or improvements. It's kind of just like you're securing what you built, but you're not growing. So let me just see one more thing, and then we'll go on to Oracle, because this is kind of just telling me the same thing over and over, like you guys are doing the same shit, and you need to like do something different if you want to be fulfilled. Okay, so when the world comes out, we're gonna call it a day with that, because that's kind of where we need to be, is at the end where we're, you know, everything comes full circle. Collaboration is going to be important this month, but your fears may be kind of standing in the way of that, so don't be afraid. But I feel like, you know, you have this fear because you've been hurt in the past. You're fearful of a third party coming back in. You don't want to be alone. Some of you are like, you can't be alone very long, so feeling complete without another person is a big deal. That's a big part of this too. You've just been with this person for so long, I feel like for some of you, that it's just hard to kind of see yourself without them. And for those of you who haven't been with them for very long, it's something that you considered in your mind many times. So it's something that it's hard for you to kind of break away from that whole idea that you had of them and what it could be. So just know that this month it seems like there's a lot going on in regards to, you know, what you really want. And some of you may be too fearful to actually get or ask for what it is that you want. You're kind of doing things that you've always done because you're playing it safe. So keep that in mind. If you really want to live how you want to live, then you can't play it safe always. But yeah, like I said, intuitively that's where you feel like you need to be, then that's where you need to be. So just go ahead and, you know, do some hermit mode, do some thinking, do some introspective work, maybe write a list. I know it's like rare for Sag, but write a list and see what you really want and if this is it or not. Take a couple weeks and, you know, just feel it. Try to feel that shit. So, Sagittarius, want some insight for them, help them, lead them into the right path for them. What do you need to tell them? What do you need to know? September, October 2019, Sagittarius. It's funny, because we just got the World card of completion. 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 Upright. So, let's see here. All things have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is the nature of life, the seed, the flower, and the fruit, and of all human relationships. Completion suggests the fullness of the moment and the need to transform an old form into a new one. So like I said, for some of you it's going to be like moving on to a new you and a new life and a transformation, a new beginning, and maybe even a new person, but for some of, or maybe by yourself, but for some of you it's going to be just renewing the relationship. Like I said, it's been kind of stale, stagnant, not improving itself, not renewing itself, not progressing. It's kind of just like the same thing, the same problems, the same strengths, same weaknesses, and it's boring. It's, you know, it's lacking in life. So let's do this. The invitation: you have finished a cycle and there is no more growth or benefit from hanging on to the old. In regard to relationships, it is time to honor what it has been and find a new form for the future. In your ventures, it is time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebration. It is the end of summer when the fruit is ripe. So yeah. Either, you know, figure out why you're doing what you're doing. You know, find the meaning within it and live that, or you gotta see clearly that this isn't what you're trying to do for the rest of your life. You're not trying to do the same thing. So either renew the relationship or renew the self. I love this oracle deck. It's always spot on for the reading. I mean, wasn't that just exactly what we were talking about? I love it. So yeah, you guys, kind of confusing month, but I think you're gonna be fine. Like, subscribe, and share, and comment, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next month.